So why does everyone hate Michael Chandler? And why does Dustin Poirier, like, really, genuinely, seriously hate Michael Chandler?
Man, Michael Chandler. Check your record, buddy.
Now, usually fighters may find themselves hated by MMA fans from time to time. Maybe it from boring fights, or delusional takes, or being cringe, or touching dogs, or touching the mother of your children in front of your children.
We've got a possible DV call, domestic violence call. Female is bleeding from the nose and mouth.
But in the case of Michael Chandler, he isn't doing any of that. He isn't fighting old men in bars, not had his own kids call the cops on him, and he's not feeling up his dog. Well, you know, I certainly hope he isn't. But to be fair, he does have some stupidly delusional takes.
I believe I beat Charles Oliveira 9 times out of 10.
I don't think that's how maths works. But yeah, in the case of Michael Chandler, it's more of a niche hatred that the MMA community actually has for him. From his Dana White privilege, consistent cheating, never-ending motivational speeches, and in the case of the MMA guru, adoption. And to be fair, I don't think he's the worst fighter out there by any means. There's worse fighters out there hated for more justified reasons. However, when it comes to fighters in his own division, I've never seen a fighter more hated by his peers than this man himself.
Man, Michael Chandler.
Every night he go to the bed and have dream, I will fight with Conor McGregor.
I think that Michael Chandler is a coward. He says, "I'll see you at the top." It's like, bro, you're hiding at the top. Like, that's what you're doing. You're acting like this was all part of the plan. You just aren't good at fighting, man.
I have no reason not to like you, but something about your face just makes you want to.
Just his face makes you want to punch you.
Yeah, the little smirk.
Michael Chandler gonna lose for sure. He's number one easy fight.
But regardless of the entire division basically hating this man's guts, no one loves Michael Chandler more than the UFC itself. And I'm sure his family and friends aren't a fan of the Chandler hate either, I guess.
I wanted to say that I'm going to play I guess apparently what Guru said, this guy.
Chandler's kids and Chandler, you know, sometimes kids, you just got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and, you know, it's really the learning that we do as we fail. Hey, man, shut your mouth, man. We ain't trying to listen to that shit right now, you damn pussy bitch, man. That's Chandler's kids and Chandler at home. Come on, kids. I mean, sometimes it's the journey that makes us who we are, right?
Turn that off.
Shut your bitch ass up, man. We ain't trying to listen to you right now, man. You damn crack. Give it 10 years, that'll be accurate.
That's the true piece of shit.
Which is actually part of the problem. And don't get me wrong, I don't actually care about Michael Chandler's personal life. He's mostly been getting hated for the way his UFC career has been going. And of course, his annoyingly fake, clean-cut Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wannabe NPC persona. Meanwhile, while he's fighting, he's trying to paralyze our beloved Charles Oliveira with countless back-of-the-head shots that even has DC screaming on commentary in fear of Charles's life.
Oh, behind the head! Behind the head! Big shots from He's behind the head! Ropes! That's all behind the head.
The man will talk like a Skyrim NPC, and then meanwhile, when he fights, he has the same type of energy John Jones does against a cop car. I hate you! Sure, he's fun as hell to watch with a negative fight IQ. He'll go for slams landing head first. He'll get dropped, jump right back up to start swinging with his hands still down. Running head first, swinging without a care in the world. He'll telegraph the biggest, wildest shots imaginable like he's a cartoon character. I have no idea what's going on in this man's head when he's fighting. I can only imagine he's maybe farming clips for TikTok edits. He'll then get caught by the likes of Poirier, Gaethje, Oliveira, and how can we forget washed up Tony Ferguson, and tried to cheat his way into still losing the fight.
Check your record, buddy.
You know, I'm sure he might be a disgustingly shameless cheat, but hey, you know, he does whatever it takes to give us an entertaining fight. And the bigger the fight, the more stupider he becomes. But seriously, the man isn't even just a dirty fighter. He's become a serial cheater at this point. Like, seriously, what the did Charles Oliveira ever do to deserve this, Chandler? And when I say the UFC loving him so much is part of him getting hated and adding to this fake nice guy allegations, I'm not kidding. Look no further than company man Michael Bisping running a PR campaign for Michael Chandler cheating allegations with his latest video. Bisping reacts, is Michael Chandler a cheater? I mean, I think I can answer that for you, Bisping. Yes.
First of all, I don't see a cheater when I look at Michael Chandler. I see a fighter that gives us exactly why we tune into the UFC. It's fighters like Michael Chandler that made this sport so great in the first place. He goes out there and fights his goddamn heart out. And yeah, sometimes doesn't stick to the plan, doesn't have the smartest fight IQ, doesn't lean on his wrestling. No, because he wants to go out there and knock out his opponents.
All right, so let me get this straight. He's not a cheater because he's fun to watch. Unless Michael Chandler is just smashing the back of Oliveira's head on the right-hand side of Bisping's television, then I don't understand how a man that's paid to commentate on the sport doesn't see that he cheats.
So when it comes to the cheating side of things, you got to remember these rules that they have in place, that's all well and good. But when you're the one sitting there on your back and you've got a world-class opponent on top of you, dropping elbows into your face, getting you in a tight clinch and just ramming knees into your mouth and smashing your nose to pieces, okay? Sometimes you're not thinking about the rules. Sometimes at that moment in time, you are thinking about survival.
Yeah, why don't you just get off his back, guys? It's not like it's cheating. It's survival out there. If anything, Chandler's the victim in all of this. What other choice does Chandler have when he's in top control but to smash the back of Oliveira or Poirier's head? Or even shove his grubby little sausage fingers into Dustin Poirier's mouth? Or spitting his blood in his face? Poking Justin Gaethje in the eye, then following it up with a sucker punch while he's not looking and the ref is calling a timeout? All the fence grabbing he does in multiple fights, multiple times, for multiple seconds. All the glove grabbing. I would be complaining that he's not once had a point deducted, but hey, it's not like it matters anyway, considering he lost all these fights.
And it's fights like that and fighters like Michael Chandler why we tune into this sport in the first place.
Yes, he is fun, Bisping. No one's disputing that. He's just also a cheat. How is this an argument? This is so fucking dumb. Like, I don't get what the UFC thinks UFC fans are. They can literally see Chandler cheating in most of these fights. Just getting Bisping to run PR isn't going to change that. Just an absolutely out of touch company with the fans. No wonder people think he's fake when he can't even admit to what he's blatantly been doing and has UFC commentators making him the victim from him cheating.
How do you react to those comments and also just this notion that, hey, that Michael Chandler guy, he cheats in his fights?
Like, why are you giggling having to ask the question? Just say it how it is. Why are you being such a ass about it?
Yeah, I mean, the narrative is tough, man. People don't really know me. Like, unless you're in my inner circle, you don't know who I truly am outside of in front of the camera.
And here we go with the deflecting again. Why can't anyone just admit he's a cheater? We literally see it every fight. We're not blind. We're not Bisping.
People have their sneaky suspicions that I'm some, I play nice in front of the camera and I'm a bad guy behind the camera.
Why don't you like Chandler? What's your deal with Chandler?
They're just not the most realistic people when it comes.
Like fake.
Very. I know personally, firsthand, he's very fake.
And he might be a good person at home, but my personal experience, he's fake, man.
You're always going to have those accusations, right?
No, we just think you're a dirty cheat that won't admit to it. No one's trying to say you're some kind of serial killer behind the scenes like you're the real life Dexter. We're just saying you're a serial cheater that won't admit to it. And it's not even like it discredits any wins. You're not even winning these fights.
Things happen in there. Fans aren't gonna like everything that you do. Fans aren't gonna like you 90% of the time anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, to be fair, when you're cheating 90% of the time, that's probably why. And there probably wouldn't be any hate if you just didn't cheat, or at the very least, owned up to it, instead of talking like you're some kind of NPC from Skyrim.
So the cheating narrative, that is tough for me. But it's also the court of public opinion. It is the court of public opinion. And people come out with a lot of dumb shit these days. Certainly on Twitter and social media. Everyone's got an opinion, okay? There's a lot of bellends out there. There's a lot of dickheads out there. Chandler, ignore them because I love what you do.
Yeah, no, it's just the dickheads that criticize Chandler for cheating in nearly every fight. I guess Bisping thinks the same of Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje for pointing it out.
And he's a cheater. He does all kind of stuff, man.
I think it's blatant fouls. Like hitting people, a lot of the Michael Chandler shit, pretty much everything he does, immediate point taken away.
And then Chandler, I brought it up, and he said he didn't do it. Like, just admit it, bro. You're so fake. Then he stuck his fingers in my mouth. He sticks his fingers inside my mouth, grips my mouth guard, pulls my head up to try to get his hand under my chin. Bro, I bite his fingers so hard.
But I'm gonna tell you something. There were a lot of blows to the back of the head, a lot of fence grabbing. There was also some eye poke.
If my teeth get touched together,
You bit his fingers off?
oh, bro, he'll be walking and rocking like this forever. He knows what I'm talking about, you hoe.
To be fair, though, this is the same Bisping that, you know, was running a PR campaign for John Jones after the infamous late-night Vegas arrest.
My interactions have been fantastic. I saw him just recently in Vegas, and we stopped and we shared a picture and we had a laugh and we spoke for a few minutes, and I wish him all the best. He's a good person, but he's just making some bad choices.
Domestic violence call. Female is bleeding from the nose and mouth.
I actually don't know what more Chandler could do to cheat for the UFC to not be able to defend it and try to gaslight its own fans. Like, Chandler's cheating actually has more versatility than his actual fighting ability does nowadays. His cheating has no bounds.
Are you looking at someone? Or are you
I'm looking at my wife. There was 20,000 people in the arena and all I saw was her. And I remember just apologizing to her in that moment for reasons that she did not know. About because I needed to protect her from it because we were away from each other. She knew, you know, it's just funny. She knew it was a different, I'm sorry.
I mean, not to jump to any conclusions, I kind of feel uncomfortable listening to this. It vaguely sounds like cheating. And I don't know if Ariel Helwani is the best person to vaguely be saying this stuff to, but hey.
Could I ask what you're referring to? What you were apologizing about?
No.
And if it wasn't bad enough that Chandler's only 2-6 in the UFC, for whatever reason, the UFC had just non-stop given him highly ranked opponents his entire UFC career. Like his debut against number 6 pre-tattooed Dan Hooker, title shot against number 3 Charles Oliveira, big fight against number 2 Gaethje, layup against number 7 the ghost of Tony Ferguson, and celebrated beating an 8-loss streak Tony Ferguson like he had just won the belt. Back to then a title elimination bout against number 2 Dustin Poirier, then embarrassingly wasting 2 years of his life and career waiting on a Conor McGregor that was busy filming mid-Jake Gyllenhaal movies, while in the middle of a court case and just drinking his entire career away. But not to worry, because wasting 2 years of your career, the UFC went out of their way to reward him with a title elimination bout against number 2 Charles Oliveira again, who already beat his ass. Also, after losing and cheating against Oliveira in the rematch, still went out of his way to call out Conor McGregor yet again. Like, bro, take the fucking hint. In fact, Chandler's actually called out McGregor in every post-fight interview that he's done for the UFC, which wasn't that hard for me to find out due to the fact that he's only done it 3 times. And his up-and-coming fight against Paddy Pimblett this weekend will be the first time he even takes somebody on outside of the top 10. You know, even though he's 2-6 in the UFC, and you know, one of those wins was against a GFL Tony Ferguson. So really, he's pretty much 1-6 if we're being real with it. And even then, when having to fight someone below him in the rankings, gets one of the biggest names in the division still. Even Dustin Poirier took on St. Denis. Even Justin Gaethje gave Fiziev a couple chances. However, for Michael Chandler, he just gets all the biggest and best fights possible and yaps like he's the guy that's been running the division for all these years.
Muscle Milk Mike, you're going back.
Well, I mean, come on, dude. Look, no thanks. Retire. We good. Who the fuck is we? You just got here, buddy. You're not one of us. You're not we. I've been here. You know.
Right.
Come on, dude.
That annoyed you?
We are good. Who's we? You know, welcome to the UFC, dude. You got 1 win in the UFC.
That pissed you off?
Yeah, bro. He's not one of us. He just got here. Who's we? He's speaking for the lightweight division?
You even had the time when Chandler was still new to the UFC, dodging Islam Makhachev call-outs.
Michael Chandler? Yeah. Why not? Let's go, Chandler.
Michael Chandler, what's up?
Slick little call out right there, but he did what he said he was gonna. He did what he said he was gonna do tonight, and he did what he needed to do tonight, which was.
I'm getting a lot of questions about Islam, but he still hasn't beat anybody inside the top 10. You know, I don't think he should start with me at number 4 and fight me at number 4. You know, there's number 10, there's number 8.
But hey, now that Makhachev's champion, he's all for that matchup.
So I can fight Conor first of the year 2025 and then still go fight Islam. Running through Charles Oliveira, Conor McGregor within a couple months span and then fighting for the UFC title, that's a heck of a run.
Somebody tell this dumb fuck that he was smoking straight up dick.
This is just some of the most egregious Dana White privilege we've ever seen. I mean, his last win was 2022 against you-know-who. And add in the fact that he cheats in all of these fights and will just never admit to it, but instead give us NPC Skyrim motivational speeches. you could probably see why fans get frustrated with him.
Let me paint a picture for you. The date is September of 2020. I'm a free agent. I sit down with Hunter Campbell. I sit in his office. I look at him and I say, Hunter, I want to be a good thing for your organization. I want to fight the top guys right away. Either I am who I say I am or I'm not. Throw me into the deep water. Throw me into the shark-infested waters.
This man is listening to his own motivational speeches. And I'm not joking when I say that. Granted, I might just be a miserable person that just kind of hates any sign of positivity. But the man runs a solo podcast, which if you skim through any of it, just always sounds like this.
It's just not fair. But there's nothing that you can do about it besides try to keep a smile on your then and only then become a more equipped, a more competent human being. I love myself and I am proud of myself doesn't think that I am better than you. And it doesn't mean we are just constantly playing whack-a-mole and a problem arises and we have to go put out that fire. And another problem arises and we have to go save the day again or seeking. It's about taking accountability and ownership when you feel stuck. So fail at being a father. Well, let's just lay this out there. Carissa, he absolutely, each wrestling season plus season I was going through as a human being, how to continue to step up and be a leader. To know how a subordinate thinks, you must first be a subordinate.
And no wonder it's a solo podcast. If you were a guest on this, it's like talking to ChatGPT. And admittedly, maybe I'm just being a judgmental dick with this, but you know, if you're going to be a disgustingly shameless cheat while you're fighting, then you can spare us the bullshit motivational speeches, buddy. Like, it doesn't even feel authentic anymore. It just sounds fucking annoying. And on top of everything, it doesn't help Chandler's case that he's doing all of this bullshit and has all this privilege in a division filled with fan favorite fighters like Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. Who am I forgetting? Dan Hooker. Maybe some of them are just salty towards him, but hey, can you really blame them?
Like Michael Chandler, he jumped from Bellator, one fight, he beat Dan Hooker, fight for the title.
How'd that make you feel?
For me, it's not working.
That's crazy. You think about that. You've been there for so long. 10 fight win streak.
It's okay. Of course, it's make me upset. You know, when somebody jump and fight for the belt before me. I have long way.
Unless you're Michael Bisping, that's the type of guy to try and gaslight everyone into acting like he's done no wrong. I would say with the Paddy Pimblett fight on the weekend, maybe this might be Chandler's last opportunity at a big UFC run. But granted, if he loses to Pimblett, I'm sure with how the UFC moves with this guy, they'll probably just give him Ilia Topuria for an interim title shot. But we'll see how that all goes. Paddy Pimblett has already beaten David Goggins as a coach, so we'll see how he does against the Timu David Goggins himself.
Sign up to my boy's YouTube channel. That is JG2. And for those who don't, you can do me a favor and you can bend the knee to King Triple C2.